I'm dreaming of an African Christmas. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. It's the African-themed Christmas.
Day one.
Whoop, 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 whoop. YK in the building. Good
morning,
to have you on the show.
Good to be here. Good to see you because I don't think I've been on the show with you for like
for a long
2-3
time
months.
since you traveled.
Yes.
Good to have you back, YK.
No, since before I traveled.
Yes,
Before I
that's
traveled,
true. That's true.
You weren't on the show before I left.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I should be saying welcome to you.
How you doing?
Peleo for your mishap.
So on Monday, for those of you that didn't watch the show, I was a bit tired. I guess there's a bit of stress. So I got off the show, a lot of stress lately. So it's quite, I guess since my mom's sickness, the burial and all that, I never really rested enough. And then I had so many assignments for the graduation, so many things back to back. So I guess it kind of told on my body, So yeah, but I'm okay, thank God. I still need the rest, but I just need to do some things before the rest. Anyway,
rest is important because if you go,
the show will go on.
Life will go on.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned. So don't kill yourself. I'm always telling you, I have a cousin that's always overworking herself. I say, you know what? Your firm will continue. You will go. Your firm will continue to operate. So I don't stress myself. I don't need
the extra stress.
the extra money.
At what point are we going to announce
How you doing?
that?
Yes, we're going to come down. How you doing, Tokwe?
I'm good. So, like what Mikey said, every one of us were. What happened to you was a very, very rude shock. It shocked everyone, and it just made us reevaluate, taking our time to rest, and that's what we're doing.
Good.
I'm grateful for life.
How you doing, Maria?
My mom's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Mariam's mom!
Happy birthday, Mama.
Mommy, happy birthday. You've been a blessing. You're truly a blessing, a true mother, a wonderful grandmother. I mean, my life story would be so much different.
Yeah.
And so much, if not for my mom's strength and her persistence in making sure that we got the best that she could afford and she could give. She is a, what they say, selfless woman. Yeah. And I just want to thank you for all that you do for us.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We love you many.
Thank you for all our carrots from Josh. Thank you for all the green peppers and all the things you keep sending.
So amazing.
Yeah. God bless you, bless you, bless you.
So many of you are wondering why we're dressed this way. Yep. So we're having an African-themed Christmas. The ladies of your view said this year we're going to do Christmas the African way. So every Thursday till the new year, we'll be representing notable women in the society, home and abroad. Today, we're representing Nika Davis Okundaye, CEO Nika Arts Gallery, for our beautiful costumes today. Don't you like it?
YK and Mariah, you guys really exemplify. Like you could
That's how she looks.
This is how she looks.
Yeah, Nika Art Gallery.
100%.
So, it's the CEO of Nika Art Gallery. Thank you so much for our outfit today.
Thank you for dressing us, Mrs. Is it Yeye? Yeye Okudaye. We really appreciate, and you've embodied, what's the word? You have represented Africa on many levels, and we as ladies are proud of you, and we want everyone to know what you're doing. It is amazing.
Fantastic.
Well done.
And she's also a very, very lovely woman.
Yes.
She's not arrogant in any way.
No.
She's very humble. She welcomes you, whether she knows you or not. You go to her gallery, she welcomes you.
Very, very lovely woman. And also would like to thank, for our set, the CEO of Finesse Events, Kehinde Onabanjo Iyola, for our beautiful set decoration. We wanted an African-themed set, and she made it happen. Thank you to Kehinde. God bless you, to Finesse Events. And also to our darling Super Tongue Concepts, Shibu Timofani, for traditional snacks and calabash and cups. Thank you so much, Timo. God bless you. We're really liking this African-themed Christmas because we want to birth a new Christmas for ourselves. We want to say Christmas doesn't have to be whites and snow and Father Christmas and Santa Claus and all that. It could be African. It could be exciting. It can be calabash. It can be horses. It can be all that, you know? So we're trying to do it, all right? We're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, we're going to take a few stories and the punch. We'll run through this real quick. Nigeria's petrol imports jumped by 55%, hit 2.5 trillion naira in 9 months. Picture here of A2 experts and well-controlled advisors have successfully shut down the leak at the SBA's successfully installed control packages. New convert stabbed RCCG pastor to death in Lagos church. FG should stop pushing its security responsibilities to states. Buhari Tinubu others mourn Ojodu students' school shut. NBA protest lawyers arrest in court by EFCC threatens shutdown. States grumble as FG slashes 36 billion naira COVID-19 fund. Omicron hits 57 countries. Some judges sell judgments, retire to escape NJC sanctions, says Jega. And power sector privatization records major loan default. UBA takes over Disco. Okay, let's start with the major headline.
Yeah, the pastor.
Yeah, the human interest story. Go ahead.
Yeah, this story is very close to my heart because I actually heard this story on Tuesday because it was one of my old school friends, her brother-in-law. It happened to her brother-in-law. So she was telling me this story firsthand on Tuesday. These converts had come in for, they'd come in to be converted, and they took them in the church, and they started staying in the church. That day, the day in question, he went to the bank. And when he got to the bank, he collected the money. They came in, and they stabbed him from the neck, at the neck, killed him, and took the money and ran. According to the Punch, they found one of the culprits in Ilorin.
Oh, my Lord.
And my friend, she was telling us the story that day, and we were almost in tears.
Really?
The wife is 7 months pregnant.
Oh, my
gosh.
Lord.
The picture of the pastor, he looks quite young.
He's young.
Pastor, yes.
They just got married.
Oh.
And she's 7 months
young
pregnant
pastor.
now.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. This is so sad. Our hearts go out to the family at this time.
Terrible, terrible, terrible
See, that's
story.
this is Nigeria.
And, you know, I'm just wondering what's happening to our youth.
Well,
I was listening to the radio today. Someone said, we have an angry youth.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Angry.
we do.
So we need to
you can
calm
feel
them
it.
down.
Yes.
We need to work towards calming these children down.
Okay, let's find another story.
Yeah, so I think yesterday it was in the papers that about 1 million of the vaccines that have been given to Nigeria have expired. Although we haven't, on our side, the Minister for Health was unable to verify how many, but we're hearing that it's about 1 million. We remember we got about 700,000 doses from AstraZeneca, the UK, 800,000 from Canada, 500,000 from France in October, and then 4 million doses of Moderna vaccine, and 3.6 million Pfizer doses from the US in October as well. And they say, of course, many of the things, because of this expiration of so many doses, it may affect further, donations to us. But also, people are also grateful. The former national chairman of the Association of Public Health was saying, thank God also that we quickly found this out. Imagine if people were being injected with this expired vaccine. So we need to do much more on our campaign for getting people to get vaccinated. And those are the things that they have caused this. And some people also said it's not necessarily our fault, depending on the time that these vaccines were actually sent to us. And we know the country as a whole, how we have been trying to get people to, get vaccinated.
Okay.
So I want to take the story of states. So the states within Nigeria are grumbling because they were expecting to get 36 billion naira, a COVID fund that was gotten from the international funding people. They couldn't I was trying to see if they could confirm who from the international bodies brought this fund in, but we couldn't ascertain who did. So each state was supposed to get 1 billion naira. And all the state's finance and health commissioners had gathered in Abuja to go get the funds. And what they saw was that they were going to be given 800 million naira, which was 200 million naira short of the amount they were expecting. And I started grumbling that what happened to the remaining amount of money, that what the international support, the financial support they were supposed to get was 1 billion to help them revitalize all the isolation centers, that there's a new variant now, and they need these funds to be able to equip their states to prevent the spread of COVID-19, and everybody should explain what happened to the fund that should come to them.
Okay. All right, let's... want to say something right here?
Yeah, because a minister went to one of the hospitals and said that they had given this particular hospital 960-something million. And when he got there were no facilities.
Yes.
So maybe we need to start asking ourselves these questions. Why are you collecting money, you are not doing the work?
I remember that clip. He said he was going to send the Auditor General to come and find out exactly what happened to that money.
And he was going to report them to the EFCC. You know?
So we need to do more of that. We need more of those spot checks from our leaders. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so moving on now to Daily Sun. Buhari rejects electoral bill. President condoles with parents, relations of Ojodu Grammar School students. Judicial officers won't be intimidated, says CJN. Security agencies' welfare. Don't leave your responsibility to state, Wike tells federal government. Aregbesola, I won't resign over frequent jail breaks. Journey ahead will be rough, says incoming PDP chairman Ayu. All right, so the major headline. Our president, according to the reports from Sunday, from Daily Sun, says that a source said that the president cited high costs of conducting direct primaries by INEC, which accorded to be about 500 billion naira. He said that the president met with the INEC chairman, Yakubu Mahmoud, who briefed him on the dangers the law would pose to the conduct of elections in the coming months. So both of the president of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Assembly, of the National Assembly, will be reading the letter from the president next week when they reconvene. But pretty much that's the early reports from Daily Trust on Daily Sun on what the president's position is on the electoral bill. Any other story?
Our governor in Rivers State, the governor for Rivers State, has said that, okay, he was speaking at the, let me cite where he said it, Governor Wike, Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, speaking at the 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Day Emblem Appeal Fund launch and ceremony, said that the funding of security apparatus, funding security agencies, the welfare, shouldn't be left to as a responsibility for states. That his administration will not relent in supporting the men and officers of the Nigerian military who are fighting tirelessly to provide security, but there is a responsibility is meant for the federal government to fund them. Their own job is to support. The governor said that Rivers State alone, within the last 6 years of his tenure, has donated over 150 million to them annually. And if the resources were well managed, we would have provided even a secretariat without going hand in cap to the government all the time. So not only is he complaining about the fact that the security agencies are not well funded and states are supporting, is that even the fund states is putting in it isn't well managed, and they cannot even supervise what is going on with the funds they donate. So he's asking that the federal government steps up and do more.
And Aregbesola has said that there is no reason for him to resign, that just because they are breaking into the prisons is not enough reason for him to resign, and that it's not because of the lack of preparedness of the prisons. I'm not sure why, but he said it's not because of the lack of preparedness of the prisons, and that they are stepping up to make the prisons impregnable. But nobody should call for his resignation. And
he said that they are upping their game, and we will not allow and will prevent any such opportunistic attack and even make it impossible. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune. Finance bill, no TIN, no bank account. 114 communities don't have GSM signals in Nigeria, says CITAD. 12-year-old boy chained for 2 years, rehabilitation in Kebbi. Stop embarrassing judicial officers, CGN warns security operatives. Reps probe 91.87 billionaire anchor borrowers loan. And expired 1 million COVID-19 vaccine, our story by federal government. Okay.
Major headlines.
Yes.
So the Finance Bill 2021, an executive bill that has been sent to the National Assembly by the President. And this bill will be asking that going forward, anyone that wants to open a bank account will be required to give their TIN, that's their task identification number, before opening any bank accounts. And for those with existing accounts, will have to provide their TIN to continue operations of their account. And then on that, the bill has proposed that there will be a fine of 50,000 naira for anyone that files their returns late in the first month, and then there will be 25,000 naira subsequent fines. Then the failure to register for VAT has also been reviewed upwards and is now 50,000 naira. And they said that for federal inland, if you forget or refuse to let Federal Inland Revenue Service to be aware of a change in your company address, also you'll be fined 50,000 naira and subsequently 25,000 naira every month until you do that. So many, fines and stringent measures that will be taken. There's good news, they say, for pensioners, where it's seeking to remove the and make it possible to get tax exemptions when you're taking out money for your pension schemes. And also there will be prescribed conditions met. If prescribed conditions are met, that exemption would be allowed. Then there's a child relief of 2,500 naira per child, up to a maximum of 4, and a dependent relief of 2,000 naira per dependent for a maximum of 2, and so many other, tax exemptions that will be given if you meet the requirements. So it looks like it's going to be a very
tough time going forward.
Going forward.
Wow. Okay.
So Nigerians, we need to sit up.
There's a story that happened in 2020 about a young boy who, I think an NGO had covered that story. A young boy, his name is Jubril Aliyu, was chained for 2 years by his father, Malam Omar Aliyu. So now he has been fully rehabilitated and reunited with his family. If you recall, this report was given about a year ago where an NGO reported the matter to the state, and the states had taken over to the child to be rehabilitated. He was chained.
I remember the story. Yes, he was chained. He looked really ill. Yeah, but I saw the pictures of him recently. He looks well fed, and I hope he's also getting some mental and psychological help as well.
You've reunited him with his family. Is it the same father that chained him?
Exactly. So this article doesn't say anything about prosecuting the father for what he did. We didn't see that. All this article is saying the hospital had rehabilitated and he's been reunited to his family. But what happened to the man that chained him?
Exactly.
The Center for Information Technology and Development has said that about 114 communities in Nigeria have weak or lack internet connectivity. Total number of people within those 114 communities is about 100 million Nigerians have no access to the internet. In this day and age, we understand how powerful that is, the opportunities that internet brings. Say community networks have failed to take roots in Nigeria because we do not have national policy to guide their emergence and provide a supportive environment for communities to leverage various opportunities to bridge the connectivity gap in their communities. There are many schools that children are growing up in the communities that they have no idea what a computer is or what internet is.
What part of the country is this?
Oh, well, they didn't specify, they didn't list the areas, but...
I know that in Lagos, they're having all those multiple color stuff they are trying to...
Yeah, no, we cannot compare Lagos. No. Lagos is not on
I heard the governor say that they hope that the students will have free Wi-Fi in schools to be able to use the internet. So, moving on to Vanguard. Ojodu truck accident. Parents protest forces Lagos State government to close schools. You are a lone ranger outgoing PDP deputy national officers blast secondus. Many fear dead as government attack Imo community again. Jail breaks were making correctional centers impregnable, says federal government. Bad loans weigh down construction sector, says CBN. COVID-19, Saudi Arabia suspends flights from Nigeria over the Omicron variant. Dowen College, 5 arrested. Students remanded in juvenile home. Okay.
Really sad. The president is condoling with the parents of the dead students. The FRSC claims only 2 died, that 14 are injured. They still stick to that story. Due to protests, people that are protesting the accident that took place, the injured people, they had to shut down the school till January next year. And
I know
Governor Sanwo-Olu also expressed deep sorrow by the students that were crushed to death by the situation that happened. Everybody's condoling.
I think it should have been a no-brainer for the school to close down. Because apart from the students that died, what of the students that witnessed the death?
Trauma. How can you just think you can continue?
I was watching one lady on TV yesterday. She says her son wasn't there with her. He was traumatized.
Yeah.
Now, the person that witnessed, because he had gone into the school, the girl was waiting for him. When he came out, she was dead.
Oh, my God.
And he was traumatized. He didn't, you know, and she was wondering, why are you...
So obviously it was a good thing. I mean, the Commissioner for Education also went around visiting the hospitals to check on the children. But we're still waiting for further investigation, which the Lagos State government has commenced to see exactly what happened. But I'm happy that the man who drove this truck was found.
Arrested, yes.
And right now he's behind bars. In that story,
yes, so we took in the papers, we heard the 23 people who were burnt in the bus while they were traveling. You know, so the Sokoto State government has confirmed that there were 23 deaths among the travelers who were attacked by these bandits. The president has also sent his condolences, the governor of Benue State. The president is saying, in his statement, he says, "I'm very distressed at the manner of death visited on these hapless citizens who are undertaking a legitimate journey to another part of the country. It shows that the evil this administration is confronting is one that requires the support and involvement of Nigerians." You know, and then from Benue State, it says the boldness these terrorists are exhibiting daily across the country is a clear indication that the nation is in grave danger and stands the risk of losing its sovereignty if urgent steps are not taken to eliminate them and keep Nigeria safe again. And that's the truth. Constantly hearing about people just going on rampage and killing people from the pastor that was killed. I mean, I know you said that the youth are angry. You can express your anger. Yes, you don't go about killing people. The pastor is a youth.
Nobody is excusing it.
No, I understand. I'm just saying that, you know, this group of travelers who are going on their legitimate business, there were children in those buses, and these people have come out. You just catch them and just lock them up.
I was listening to Journalists Hangout this morning, and they said what happened was the Air Force attacked the base, the bandits' base.
Yes.
And when they killed the leader, Tuji. They killed his in-law and his sister-in-law and his sister or something. So his reprisal attack was that
we saw.
They say you killed my own people, I will kill your own people too.
So sad.
Because if they didn't ask for ransom, they just killed them.
So there's still a fundamental issue with terrorism.
I
mean, and there's a root cause of all
Yesterday
this.
we took a story of these bandits trying to have a peace sort of arrangement with community leaders. So we know them, we know where they are. Why are we just reporting about what they are doing and getting away with?
Let me give a update on Dowen's story. So 5 of the students of Dowen College in Lekki, following up on the death of Sylvester Oromoni, have been remanded. They said they haven't been arraigned yet, but they've been remanded. And the reason they are remanded in a juvenile correctional facility, pending their arraignment and while other investigations are going on. I know many people are waiting to see how this entire situation will pan out, how justice will be meted, how justice will come through for Sylvester's death, a 12-year-old boy. And this is an update so that people will know things are ongoing. 5 of those children have been...
That's what she said all around.
Yeah, because I don't even know how you put these young teenagers in jail. Because you psychologists, I mean, this is not here today, but they tell us that a child comes as a tabula rasa, clean slate. It's things that have been in society that makes turns them into who they are. So who's responsible for these children doing this thing? So there's so many layers of accusations.
Those are accessories. You know, there was someone that said that a boy who killed people in the U.S., the parents got convicted as accessories because...
Not convicted, they are in jail.
They are in jail. as accessory to murder. So there are other people that will be added to this case.
But
it must be more. It must be a more detailed investigation. Everybody involved.
Look, all those adults that were supposed to be watching out for everyone.
Exactly, because these children, they're children.
Yes.
You have locked up
they shouldn't sacrifice their life because of some adults did not.
Their kids, they can't vote.
The children shouldn't sacrifice their lives because some adults did not do their job.
The only good thing that I can see in this picture is that other bullies will look at this situation
and not try
they will keep their bullying out to themselves. So a lot of younger children are saved. Because these guys are going to have to be an example.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll move on to a sponsored segment. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still having this African-themed Christmas, and we're so excited about this season. Anyway, the RCCG, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the parish, the City of David Parish, launched an online Christian dating platform for mature singles. And the platform will enable singles to interact and find their life partners. However, the site states that every registrant must conduct his own independent background check before connecting with another person on the platform, because they can't take responsibility, obviously, for that. But this sounded like a breath of fresh air, because many people go to church or to mosques hoping that they will find their life partners. And the guy is doing shakara. The girl is doing shakara. They don't want to do the needful of meeting. There's always that thing. But with this intermediary, which is the online website, where if you really need a life partner, register, you know, and they can actually hook you up. I think it's a really, I mean, we've heard of dating sites, but in a controlled religious setting, sounds really refreshing, don't you think, Mariam?
Okay, because it also has a disclaimer where it says you should do your own independent, so it's not exactly a dating site. Just the fact that what is common is that probably you're all Christians here. So if it was like a proper dating site, meaning that everybody would be vetted on that site, so, you know, most of the job would have been done. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing that, you know, in this our world of diverse people and diverse thoughts and whatever, we're hoping that, I'm hoping that this is supposed to be a group of people who maybe have same Christian values, same moral values, and then if that is put on one side, then you can work with someone who already has some of these things with you in common. But, you know, there's also the part where you pay 25,000 naira, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? The fee?
Yes. Yes, there's a 25,000 naira fee. And I like that because it means that you take it seriously. I've noticed that when people don't pay for things, they really don't take it seriously. So it means that you have to, and then also it puts you in a certain type of financial bracket. Because how many people are going to be putting 25,000 just to meet somebody? So there's a, you know, it's sort of vetting as well. That, okay, at least this person maybe afford to do that for this.
If you are desperate, you will pay, whether you can afford it or not, you will find 25,000. Yeah, if you're desperate, because there are a lot of people who want to get married and have not found the right partner. Women keep meeting men who will break their hearts, who will just use them and go away. Men keep meeting women who are just, you know, they're not meeting the right people. And you see, a lot of these churches, what they do is when you join their church, they try to pair you with one of the congregation. You know, the pastors try to. I have heard, I'm not a member of any church, but I know that a lot of pastors do this. Pastors go be looking for their own mates inside the congregation.
You know, there's one thing with Pentecostal church, and I know it used to irritate me. I was just in secondary school there. I started going to this Pentecostal church. All of a sudden, brothers will be coming up to you to say, Holy Spirit. I'm like, I'm not finished school yet. Why is the Holy Spirit talking to you about me? You know, it's really irritating me.
I remember the one, I better not say it here. Mariah will just kill me. But
yeah,
remember, we know.
Which one?
The one that will see somebody in his dreams.
Yes, Luke. I remember his name is Luke. I can never forget the guy. Brother Luke.
Oh, where did you plan this? Let's not go there.
I know, but anyway, that's
why
he doesn't have secrets. He doesn't have secrets.
But the truth of the matter is that dating sites, I think, are good. Because where do you meet your spouse? If you don't meet them at work, you go to a nightclub. You can go and meet a hired killer in a nightclub. You will not meet.
Sure.
So, and it's good advice. Investigate properly too.
Right. But let me come to some of your thoughts on this website.
See, the church system has become so woke that we now use, and I believe that God has given us our brains to solve human problems. You know, God will not do for you what you can do for yourself. But we just scientify spiritual things, and then we spiritualize science. So this is a church on the highbrow network area. And a lot of women there, a lot of people are busy, and it's a good forum. Every church has singles units. They even have mature singles units. And the idea is the church provides an environment where both parties can meet, learn, evolve as individuals, and hopefully marry. When we bring in the dating site where you pay to enter, it begins to look more like, it just feels a bit like a business or something. I wish that maybe a private individual comes up with this. The church says, I endorse it, but maybe not from the church.
Yeah.
Well, I like spiritual. I also strongly feel that there are so many singles-related programs addressing women. I saw one, let me not even mention the brand because once I say it, you know, and it's a meeting where women go through training, hours of training. Then they will now be exposed to men one day. I say, have you seen the statistics of what causes problems in marriages? Men should go through hours of training before meeting any woman because women have been trained forever to be good wives. Our men don't get that intensive training. Exactly. So why would you put up a program to match men and women, and then you're spending hours training the same woman that has gone for fellowship, gone for deliverance, and then you now introduce him to a man? Just no idea. Expect that.
But you know, see, there's one singular question many singles ask: where do I find the right person? Yeah. And I think a lot of people, as you said, a lot of churches have singles fellowship, but nobody shows up. Like the real kinds of people don't go there. I mean, I was a very dedicated member of the singles fellowship, but the correct guys were not coming. You know, I was there I was working. But you see, the real correct guys or correct girls usually don't go to this singles fellowship because it's just like it's kind of tacky. But the fact that the website is almost discreet, where you apply, you don't know who is who, and if they find you a match, both of you go on a date, and if it doesn't work, nobody knows. But when you come to singles fellowship, we're all there, and you're all scoping, and you look like you came to come and market yourself.
Auntie Muraya
showed up.
Auntie Muraya and Brother
that kind of thing.
Auntie Muraya and Brother Shehu have been talking.
So the fact that it's somewhat discreet is also another attraction for this website. And I think I really like. I mean, I love it. I wish it was there when I was single. I would have been a member of the group. I would have absolutely put my profile there. But you know what? I'm here. You know, who would give me somebody? Because I like to go on dates.
Okay, so they're going to match them because when the disclaimer says you need to do your own independent investigation, it made me worry because I would prefer where a proper vetting of anyone that subscribes for that dating site is done. So you check, first, yes, you're a member of the church. Secondly, you're a Christian of certain values. We know
we go through training of like
your
3 months
character
of training.
And everything, your education. So when I'm coming in there, I know that there's a certain level of person that I'm meeting, you know, morally and education-wise and everything. But when you say to me to do my independent, are you now asking me to
in addition. I think they will do the vetting, but also in addition to don't only depend on our own vetting. You need to go and do your own side vetting.
I also think that people need to go through training to understand themselves, because one of the problems with people in marriage is that we don't know ourselves before we get married, and then we meet another person and because we don't understand ourselves, we are evolving in that relationship. The person is also dealing with a lot of baggages. If only we let people go through trainings to know themselves, become leaders, self-leadership, self-awareness, they evolve, and then by the time you are meeting each other, you know yourself, you know your likes, you know your love language, you know what your pet peeves are, you know what your boundaries are. Some of us discovered our boundaries, our pet peeves, our love language inside the marriage. Okay. Imagine how horrible it would have been for the partner who doesn't know, who is saying, well, how can I love you? And you two, you don't even know how they can love you. So imagine if you've already gone through that journey pre-marriage. It makes it easier. You still have challenges in marriage, but it helps when you know
Let's go in a quick break.
You only find out.
Yes, now.
Until you're married.
Well, let's go on a break. When we come back, you know it's Thursday, our gisting day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have a bit of breaking news. We're told that the tanker drivers have blocked the busy Benin-Asaba Onitsha Expressway, Koka Junction section of road in Asaba, Delta State, Thursday morning because the policeman allegedly shot tire of one of the fully loaded tankers after the driver refused to give the money he demanded. So school children, commuters, motorists are all stranded as drivers insist that they remain there until the issue has been resolved. So we're just letting people in that axis not to go through that area because it's quite jam-packed right now. Okay, going back to our story of the day. So we're talking about the RCCG's dating website, but I'd like to link it up to actually what's the definition of the right kind of guy, especially because there was a message that we thought was interesting that Diary of a Niger Girl posted, which we thought was interesting. It says, as a man who's attracted to women, what have you realized about them or since you started dating? It's a safe place, so share. So in this tweet or in this message, many people started posting messages on men. I'm talking about men actually sent messages on what they thought women, on their perception of women in relationships. And I'd like the ladies to maybe share the comments. It's really interesting because, and this is an interesting conversation because it gives women a perspective on how they see us. So we have this nice flowery design of the man coming to come and sweep you off your feet and all that, but men are seeing us differently. So it'd be interesting to listen to a few of these comments. Mariam, they want to take two?
Yes, so there's this particular one where it talks about women would like to feel that we're romantic. Oh, I'm romantic. But when you really look at it, it's not that women are actually romantic, but we like to receive romance. We like to be romanced, but we don't give it. Yeah. So a woman says, I'm romantic because I like flowers and cards. Chocolate. And see, how do you show it? How do you show it back? And for me, that really caught me because this conversation actually happened in my home. My husband actually brought my attention to that. Auntie, you're not the romantic one. I am the romantic one because I'm the one that does it. And I thought, that's so true. It's so easy to receive. In what ways do I show the romance back? And because he brought it up, I try in different ways to see how I can show that part. I really love to give. He loves a head massage and he loves foot massages. Yeah. So sometimes when he comes from work, I just take off his shoes and just give him a massage. He loves that. So that's my own way.
Mr. Mark likes it too, and he will hear that Mariam is giving it. Papa is not giving foot massage.
So you see, that's interesting because we're talking about dating. I mean, that's really the topic today because the dating side is where people come to date, and you show yourself and say, okay, what can I offer? And this is part of the things. When you see romance, you're thinking it from your own receiving end.
Yes.
One of the messages that caught my attention was when we are saying our own problems. I mean, this has happened to me. I dated a few guys, and I will be lamenting the problems of my life to them and telling them, they'll be listening to me with their ears. After them, they're thinking, they're like, okay, let me just get the heck out. So I'm telling them, oh, my boss is this happened, we don't have this. That was a trying time in my life when things were really hard. So I was constantly complaining, not because I wanted him to give me anything, but I was just lamenting. I was venting. He was like my venting board. But he was taking it as, I want to share, I want to express myself with you, but I didn't allow that. So we talk too much and share all our problems, thinking that this guy will take in all the problems and then, be there for us.
And we don't do the same.
We listen. Yes, we listen. We don't listen. I didn't listen.
We didn't listen enough.
Yeah. Let me give you a good example. Valentine. All the men, the new relationships, they run away because all the women are expecting. I've never heard a woman say, oh, I'm doing this for my partner for Valentine. We're always
expecting
the new iPhone, the new Kaneko, the new Samsung. We always want something, but I never see us reciprocating. And if we are going to even reciprocate, the best way we know how is to cook. I will cook for him. What if he's on a diet?
Okay.
Yes, and the other room. But you see, the thing is about the other room is that
it's two-way.
It's a two-way thing. Don't you enjoy it?
But it's the other room.
So we even feel that's the other room, as you call it. The other, we are even doing you a favor by giving you that other room
on the Valentine Day.
If it's Valentine Day. Today, you are going to know that I gave.
Oh my God!
That is our attitude, and it's the truth. That's our attitude, and
you're right. So
let me take this one.
Let's take another one.
Someone says a lot of them simply do not understand that feelings are not facts. Because you feel a way doesn't mean it's true. Please work on yourself. And now this is really, really true because women are feeling people. We are more feeling. We are more in tune to our intuitive part of our being. Yeah. So we feel, and we feel that because I feel it. And it reminded, I was in a relationship with someone, and I just always felt that it cheated. Like, I never caught him.
The feeling?
It was a feeling. And the guy told me all till the end that it wasn't true. I never believed him. It was just a feeling and it wasn't fact. And I think that it was, thinking about it much later, that it was insecurity from my part that this all perfect guy, and me, this small girl, there must be someone else in your life and you're reserving me for marriage. No, there's someone else. And I kept saying it. So a lot of women probably have their own insecurities and then they now let that affect the way they feel and project it as fact on a relationship that might have nothing.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Sometimes feeling is fact, you.
But they are telling you
because
always
fact. But when you feel it, when your sixth sense talks to you, answer it. Don't be telling me my feeling is not fact. Hey, but my feeling sometimes is fact, you. Okay.
That's wisdom. Because there's one, so a man is saying, don't assume, you know, but the woman is saying, I'm a woman, I sense it, I almost know. But we have to now balance it, where, okay, you're sensing it, but because you've not caught the person red-handed, don't assume, just always believe the best of the person. Per time.
Okay, if you sense it, then investigate it.
What do you find you investigating? Then you
and then you say why you are investigating.
Another one?
Okay, yes. So this one really made me laugh. He says, women believe they have more control of the universe than men. That's why they feel that if they are hurt by you, they can talk to the universe and something evil will happen to you. Then it says, Uchechi, if you like, go outside naked and swear. You are only giving ghosts free nudes. So we hear women, when they say they were heartbroken by a man, then they stripped themselves naked and stood in the jungle and cursed the person. So you say, Auntie, you're not the only one that has that power. I can stand before the universe to ask, you know. So, and I know that a lot of us.
Where did that come from? Home videos, I'm sure. Well,
I don't know, because I remember. Oh God, I hope you're not watching. I remember there used to be somebody, a girl. She was heartbroken. She brought out all these Bible verses and everything. We were sitting down. She was reading it and calling the person's name, calling, and cursing the person. And I remember then I was really uncomfortable because, I mean, it's just a breakup. The person just moved on and met someone else. And now she's happily married and everything. And like, so how do you feel about all the curses that you put? You know, we also need to understand women that it's okay for some relationships to break up. And when that happens, sometimes it's even for your good. So to put someone and just curse that person, well...
No, so the reason that usually happens is because as women, we're brought up to keep ourselves for marriage. So imagine you've been a virgin, you kept yourself like you want to marry someone, and then a guy wheels and does all... Yes, he wheels his way into your bed, and... after he gets what he wants, which is the depiction, he gets what he wants, and then he breaks up with you. And you're wondering, but I told you, like, I'm keeping this. You did this, this blood that I just shed for you. And then the cursing
What if the person is not a virgin? What if just that
so there are other cases where there are major heartbreak. But I like the fact that the man... some men are now saying that you're not the only one. Men get heartbroken. I've actually spoken to a man that I felt is such a wonderful man. He should be married, should be happily married. And then he opened his mouth and told me what two ladies did to him and how heartbroken he's not even nearing marriage at all. I was shocked because I'd always felt like it's men that break women's hearts. Like, I didn't think women that men are also heartbroken to the point where they would walk out of the relationship and say, I'm not even doing it again. I beg you guys, just leave me alone, you know? So it's vice versa, and we should be kind.
Okay, I think men don't recover as well from heartbreak. You know, a woman, if you break her heart, in 2 months, she's all right. In 2 months.
You think?
I'm telling you, maybe she wants to enjoy that, stretch that heartbreak 6 months. Before that 6 months gone, she has already started looking at other men. And scoping for the next Mr. Right. A man, I'm telling you, can carry 5, 10 years.
For years.
For years.
I think
20 years.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's in the way that we handle it. So a woman, you break her heart.
She will cry.
Her family members will know. Her colleagues at work will know. The person she meets in the market while they are just gisting, say, I like this, your color red. So she will cry it and report you to the whole world. But the man would pretend that nothing has happened and just internalize whatever it is that they're feeling and carry it on. And then that's why some men say that sometimes you meet a man who is damaged from all that he's gone through because he's not had the time to work on it. And so he carries that baggage into the new relationship.
Sure.
And because men have been trained, sorry, you want to end the topic?
No, I want to go on a break. We'll come back.
Okay, sorry.
Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
We're still having our African-themed Christmas, and we're discussing relationships and dating today, one of those feel-good Thursday topics. And we're reading comments from Diary of a Niger Girl on men's perspective of women, and there was one of the comments that actually caught my attention. It says, as much as women claim to be emotional beings, they can't handle your emotion as a man's emotions. They want you to open up to them, but not in any way that disrupts their own idea of what a man should be.
I agree.
So, for example, a man he feels bad. He's sick about something, and he wants to be able to have a shoulder to cry on. But the moment they try to do that, the men look at them like, you're a man now. You're not being a man. Man up now. What's all this nonsense? But yet,
we're speaking from the two sides of our
mouth.
We want the man to be macho. We want a man to be emotional. We want him to express himself. We want him to be vulnerable with us. But when he shows that vulnerability, we count it as weakness.
Yes. Yeah.
So the man is getting mixed signals, and then over some relationships, he has learned to keep his emotions to himself.
Yeah. Yes.
And
that's another learning curve.
It's a major one. I think it's a lesson to women. This entire conversation we've been having is a lesson that women need to be more introspective as we deal with.
And you know how you see, we're talking about the fact that the girl child was raised to be a wife, to be a mother, and all that. And the boy child, the boy child probably doesn't have the same kind of training. However, we as adult women can help the men that are already adults. Yes, there are ways you can do, not to become their mother, but to allow them to be themselves. You know, sometimes there's like this expectation we have in our minds of who they should be, and that's not who they are.
Yeah, so I think also is the way that the women are raised to have those expectations of a man. If we ask ourselves, most men, can a man trust us to be vulnerable with us? Can he trust us to be completely vulnerable? That business that I was working on it just fell through, and I'm not even sure where we're going to get our next meal, and he starts crying in front of you. Would a woman really want that, or she wants a man that will show up and light her and say, don't worry, we'll sort it out, it's all sorted, it's all good, and you move on, and then gives you that false hope? I think many women would rather want a man that would lie to, not lie, just give you that false hope that, I've got it covered, because our men, we love them for the strength that we perceive that they have. We love them because they're supposed to be fixers and, defender of the universe. And if they show us that they're anything other than that, then we think of them as less than. So, on the one side, yes, we want strong men, but on the second side, we also want them to be in touch and in tune with their feelings. So maybe women need to ask themselves exactly what it is we want from a man, because, recently at the weekend, we were talking about the man's ego. And many times when we talk about a man's ego, we only see it in the negative. But I learned that a man's ego, the part of him that is able to be your defender and your provider and your protector, is also the part of him that will be stubborn in some of the, daily conversations that you have with him. So you're saying, my husband has such a huge ego, but that ego is paying you in the positive light. He's there for you, he's standing in for you, he's providing for you, he's protecting you. So we need to understand that a man comes with, both sides, and be willing to take that.
All right, let me take this call. Peace, are you there? Good morning, Peace. Are you there from Plateau State?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
No, the volume is quite low. You might want to increase the volume a bit.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, very clearly now. Go ahead, please.
Okay. The issue of whether women or men are more emotional. I think men are more soft than even women. You know, when you look at it critically, you understand all these men show that they are strong and the rest. They just don't want to reveal their weakness. A woman can do so many things at once, but a man cannot multitask if you look at it critically. It's just that the society made us to understand that men are stronger. Men are not stronger. Men are just, God just created them for them to be able to manage things. Not that they are stronger. Women are stronger than men, but
Thank you very much.
I agree with you. Women are stronger emotionally. Men are stronger physically.
Physically, obviously.
Yeah, but emotionally, I think that women are much stronger and are able to withstand a lot of the knocks.
Yeah.
That a man will crumble.
That's why we're the ones that give birth. A man would not be able to handle that.
Yeah, I looked at a woman that said if it was man and woman that were to give birth, they will end up having only 2 children. Because if the man gives birth first, and the man is not going to go the third one, you know?
But, you know, so talking about emotions, you have a few comments, please go ahead.
So someone says that men cry too. Oh, everybody. The 50,000 naira, I think you have to send it from here.
Somebody's saying, this your gele. Now, wow, Emmanuel Akifemi Balogun said, now, wow, nagele na sken telegbosa. Then Black Diamond says, Brian, you look amazing.
And also says men cry too. Men need pampering too. And so that's the truth. Men
so
also
when we think of emotional men, we're thinking of men who are able to pamper us.
Yes.
Men who are soft, who can sing to you, sing a song to you, and, you know, love you, buy you flowers. That's the emotion we're saying, you know. But the other side,
to the emotion.
The flip side of the emotion of, I want to cry, I'm angry, or even a man can be jealous of somebody. My friend has a car, I don't have a car. He has a house, I don't have a house. Because the men don't show it. Because men don't show it, because the truth is that their friends are doing much better. And they really want to do better, and they feel like they're already disappointing you, but so they hold it, but you just expect them to do so much more. So how do we understand?
That's the reason for high blood pressure.
How do we understand the man's emotion and be there for them? I mean, that's the real conversation, because we are talking about. We want to see things from the flip side today. You know, we're talking about relationships, dating, understanding men from different sides. How do we understand a man's emotion? Not the one that is fluffy towards us, but the one that he's actually feeling his vulnerability himself.
Oh, I think that this is...
Why are you saying? Let me take this call. Think about your thoughts very well. Good morning, are you there? Evangelist Julius, good to have you.
Thank you very much.
You're live.
I really love this topic you people are making right now. It's a very good topic.
Thank you, sir.
It's going to help many men. God bless you, mother. You know, I think our mothers have to be spoken to, especially our mothers, the way the male child is being raised from the beginning. When a girl and a boy fall at the same time, all we do is to pet the girl and tell the boy to wise up that he is a man. So at the end of the day, we men have taken this that we cannot express our emotion, and at the end of the day, our wives suffer it. So what we need to do is to allow the men to express their emotion while telling them to that, yes, even though they are emotional, they can still be in charge.
But Evangelist Julius,
very important.
When men express that emotion, some women take advantage of it. So men say that a lot, that if I show you my weak side, you're going to use it against me in future.
Yes, but because the women too, the girls, or let me just use the girls now, they have heard right from their childhood that men are not supposed to express emotion. So our sisters have to be told that men and men, just as the former caller said, women are more emotionally stronger than men. Because, for example, now, a woman can see her husband cheating and be able to contain the anger. But a man will break down. He will just, he cannot, you know how it is. So we are more emotional, but we are not allowed to express it. So as the girls are being, the men are being taught, our girls are supposed to be taught too. That when a man express emotion, it hurts me. rather than using it against him. I think it will go a long way.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Evangelist Julius.
So this is a wake-up call for all the women watching. It's going to take a whole lot to undo that shield that a man has built around himself. And I think that it's in little ways he probably has tested you and you failed, because when we're hurting, we would find what we can use to hurt him back. And it's usually his vulnerability that is shared that we'll use to hurt him back. So many of us have already failed. But I think that no man should feel that I need to be so strong for my wife. Because especially if you're already married, that's your first, like, there's nobody, they say the person that will bury you, don't hide your nakedness from such a person. So if somebody is going to, if your first point of call, your first line of vulnerability, the first person you must be most honest with is your wife. I had to fight that battle because I felt my husband was closer to his elder brother. And the stories get told to him before I would hear about it. So I had to let him know that, like, I'm here.
Safe place,
yes, you should be able to tell me whatever it is, not that I will now be hearing that after it has been resolved, that when it was happening, you told him. But I think that many men need to go through that journey, and many women need to win the trust of the emotional vulnerability of their husbands, because it helps the marriage to bond closer.
Before you go into husbands, talk of the relationship. Because a lot of women, I'm in a relationship, let's say I'm a man and you're a woman, and then I tell you everything, and then for some reason our relationship doesn't work out.
And you keep it.
Most women will go, that idiot useless man. He has clinical. Yeah. They will
talk about it.
Spoil the man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you are forgetting that during that time, so maybe it is left to the mothers to start teaching their daughters. It's not just teaching your daughter how to cook. It's not just teaching your daughter. Well, we don't teach our daughters about the other
emotionally mature.
You know, we have to teach
discretion.
Yes. Yeah. Be emotionally mature. It's not just about discretion falls into emotional maturity. Because I have a relationship with you. For some reason or the other, the relationship doesn't work out. What you and I shared in that relationship should be sacrosanct.
I agree. You know, and this is not just about, as you said, husbands and wives or men and women relationship. It also has to do with regular relationship. I remember when we were much smaller, my sister and I got into a fight, and I used maybe her test scores to make fun of her. My mom called me aside. I was like, you don't do that. Why would you use? So I knew that next time when you fight, you don't fight dirty like that. Until today, I'm never comfortable with someone that, because we're not in a relationship anymore, and I'm even talking of just girlfriends, and then all of a sudden, everything I told you when I trusted you, when we trusted each other, has now become, you know, public gist. Somebody had even said, maybe friendships, we should sign a non-disclosure agreement. Everything we discussed while we were friends, you're not allowed to discuss when we stop being friends. It's important because when you now have that attitude of respecting your friends, you take it into marriage to respect someone's feelings, and someone will be able to trust you. And also that brings me to the fact that some men, you know, we always talk about those men that are so close to their mother. Maybe it's because those men can be vulnerable with their mothers, but they cannot be vulnerable with their wives.
Very true.
Maybe that's why we call them mommy's boys. Maybe he can tell her exactly how it feels.
Because his mother is not going to betray him
or judge him for that. Yes.
Or judge him.
So the same way we're waiting. So we're waiting also to win his trust, to be able to put you with the same place he put his mother, or put you ahead of his mother. But that takes time. So also because I've got a marriage certificate, or suddenly you've taken over my sister. No, it takes time. There's some men that it's immediately. Others you need to work for it. But some people are not patient enough to work for that trust. Don't you think, YK?
Yeah, and I agree with you, but I was going to say something, because who is the wahala person in in-laws? It's the mother's in-law.
Yeah, usually.
That's the person that is going to give the wife, another woman like herself, wahala. It's not, the father's in-law will just be looking. Anything the mother says, Benny, yes, ma, it's true. Yes, mommy. Yes, Morayo, you are right. Is the mother-in-law will say, well, I'm going to show that girl in this my son's house. So we have our own worst enemies. Well, not only are we enemies of the men that we are our own. So I think this topic is good in that women really need to
self-evaluate.
Look in the mirror.
Yeah. Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah, for me, my take on all of this is I've always believed that you get what you give. You get back exactly what you give. But again, I'd like to say to people to be very careful. Now, the thing with men is, they talk about men having big ego. Ego itself is not such a bad thing. Now, men are wired to be proud. I mean, you have this self-worth, your pride. Now, a lot of times when this is hot, especially by somebody who is supposed to be your wife, somebody you love, who is supposed to protect you, care for you, it's challenging. You know, you want to be vulnerable. You want to tell your wife everything. You want to, I mean, it's only, I say to people, it's only men who are not smart, who have not learned lessons, that will hide stuff from their wife. You know, that will keep things away from their wife. You know, but then, when you open up, when you're vulnerable, when you lay it all on the table, and then you're beaten because of that, your self blows because of that. You know, your emotion is turned to shreds because of that. You know, the next time out, you want to pick what you say or do not say. You want to pick what you share or do not share. I have a friend who has this mindset that his wife respects him more now that there is money. You know that when there was no money there, he was terrible. That's his mindset. So for him, the money is the security. And that is what safeguards for him, his pride and respect in that home. He will share experiences.
Thank you very much. Sorry, you've opened another can of worms for us. Is money security for a woman? Even for a woman to feel like I feel secure in this marriage because you have money. For a man too, it's his own way of getting respect that he remembers. Because when he was poor, his wife didn't respect him. Let's go back to that, because I also want to touch on this ego thing you talked about earlier. Because for me, it was also a light bulb effect to know that ego is not just a bad thing. It's the ego that, because when we're having marriage counseling, you have to manage your husband's ego, manage your husband. So we make it look as if this ego, we have to manage, is a bad thing. We have to just, it's a necessary evil that we have to manage. But the ego is what says, you know what, I am the man in this house. And no, you're not going to talk to my wife that way because I am the husband. You're not going to talk because that is that ego that is defending you. It's that ego that is saying, you know what, I'm going to get my salary. I'm going to make sure I used to feed my entire family because I'm not going to use it for that because I want to take care of my family. It's that same ego. So ego is both ways. So how, therefore, do we begin to reinterpret what ego is and embrace it?
I think that what we're doing during this show now is giving people more different perspective on how they see things. And I think it's really important that everybody watching takes our time to think about it again. That am I understanding the whole package? Or am I just isolating what I like and then focusing my attention on what I don't like? Because we tend to do that too. The few things we like, we'll just take it for granted. And then the things we don't like, we now harp on it like the world is going to end if this doesn't change. So it's important that we see that ego is good and ego is as good as we think it is bad.
But a lot of something about this ego that I don't like is a man is too proud to take gifts from his spouse, his woman, his partner, his girlfriend. If I want to give my partner or a car, for instance, if I come into some kind of money, and I say, my partner needs a car, I want to buy it for him. If you say you buy me a car, no, I'm the one supposed to buy you a car. But I think it is a two-way thing. And that's where I have a problem with the ego.
I think there's raw ego that has not been tamed, that has not been groomed, that has not been educated and enlightened. Yes. And I think that there's ego that has been refined. And I feel that over time and with experience and this sort of conversations, a man will understand, okay, I still have my ego, it still makes me a man. So that also links to the one where the man says he only feels respect and feels safe when he has money. Because for him, if he does not have money, then he's not man enough. There's some people that will say, yes, I want my wife to be as rich as she wants to be, but she can never be richer than me. Because for him, it has to show, I have to have more money than her. He has put his whole manhood on the fact that he needs to have much more material, wealth over his wife. Meanwhile, just by being him and being it honestly, he can be the provider and the protector, the things that she will not be able to, that will not come naturally to her. Naturally comes naturally to a woman.
She can even have more money than him.
Yes, but she will not be able to
spend it on him. Yes. Go and spend it, go and use it to buy.
For your mother.
Why are you buying anything for me? I can't buy it for myself.
Let me take this call. Hello, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. I'm calling from Mina, Niger State. I said, your program is very interesting, and I want to appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Many of us, we enjoy your program.
Yes, sir.
I think the issue you are discussing, for me, believe me, you'll be surprised that you need money. Every woman you see in this world needs money. Even if a woman loves you and you don't have money, you have a serious problem. So we thank God you are educating our women. It's all about money sometimes, and it's all about money. But if you don't have money, you will not see when you have money, that is when you see the true color of a woman. Because women, they like enjoyment. You understand? So we men, we are trying. Nigerian men are trying. Believe me, we want to satisfy our women. And I also want you to be talking about what's happened in Sokoto, in Niger State. You know, we like your program. And that is one thing about Babajide. Babajide will always talk about all the program. That is why everybody is watching Journalist Hangout.
Okay.
You should talk about these people that died, about 42 people that died in Sokoto, you know. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. So we actually took that story in the papers, but, you know, the show is about expressing views, and would definitely consider other stories from other parts of the country. Definitely, absolutely. Yeah, we have to wrap up on this verse. Yeah.
The story of money, the conversation around money is a conversation that we can't wish away. The truth is, both men and women are happier when there is sufficiency of money. There's no strife. Money is an enhancer. You know, like, that's just it. So it is for marriages to flourish, having cash flow, both ends work. And the way we have been brought up as women in Nigeria or Africa is that a man is more manly when he's able to financially take care of the household. We are trying to change that perspective now to appreciate a man regardless of his financial capacity, but we cannot take away the fact that he has more money will make him look like he's more of a man.
That's some men. My own man wasn't like that. I've shared this story several times. In our early days, it was only one income thing where my husband wasn't working at the time, and I think I shared where I bought mangoes in the house, and I wanted to come back home to eat the mangoes. By the time I came back, that finished, and I'm thinking, uncle, you finished all the mangoes? Okay, yes. I wanted some mangoes, and it has finished. You know, and it started a fight, a big fight. But was doing that fight, he told me, said, Mara, your money, your official car, everything you have belongs to me. I am your husband. So all these things you are feeling like, you are under me. I am your master. He told me, you are not my master, I am your master. You know, he had enough confidence to say, listen. So even when my brain had to reset, okay, no matter what it is you think you have, he's still the head of your family. You know, so I think it's also about the confidence that you have, who you are as a person. If you work on yourself as a person, regardless of what your wife becomes, you feel like she's an extension of you. You make this, you're proud of the fact that she's an extension.
You have aided her progress by just by being there. Just by being there for her. Because there is nothing as good as having somebody to curl up to.
That
supports you. When you're sleeping, there's no yours and there's no mine.
It's we. It's we.
Yes. So there's no yours, there's no mine. There's no his money, my money, is we. When it's a whole lot coming from your end, is we. When it's a whole lot coming from my end, is we.
I think and women should always watch their mouths. You are a useless man. You can't provide. Say what Kenny Cole is providing for his wife.
I think that should never be done. I think that should never.
Because women will not stand for it if we compare the way you look with another. I mean, if the men compare the way a woman looks with another woman.
Exactly.
We have to wrap up on this. Let's take a few comments. Let's run up.
Yes, Auntie YK, me, I don't get it go to collect gifts, so make una test me and see how I go die. The gift. I have to read that one.
Yes, I need to read this one. I think it's important. Oluremi Ajayi is giving us more about the dating site. She says, good morning, ladies. For the RCCG dating site, I signed up there, and so far I haven't been asked to pay any money. We had a mind-blowing session on Sunday, and I can categorically tell you it's nothing like you've seen before. For those who signed up earlier, they've been taken through some series of classes on different aspects of dating. And those who signed up later have been sent to the videos. We have been assigned to WhatsApp groups and connections have begun.
Oh, fantastic. Good to know.
That's
so,
good.
And I said that if I was a single girl, trust me, I'll be one of the, I'll jump on it. What? A nice Christian website.
Billy says the time is too short. I agree. It's a serious topic.
Yes, we have to run. Okay, so that's all we can take. As I said, we're still celebrating our African-themed Christmas. Somebody sent me a message like, what is this? What's going on here? It's an African-themed Christmas, and that's what we're doing throughout the month of December. And every Thursday, we're going to pick a notable person to represent. Today, we're representing Nike. Nike Oshunade. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back.
Can I just say something before you do that?
Yes.
About this our attire.
Yes,
please, can you let me tell them to be dressing more African? It's not only because they want to do it in December. They do it in January, February, March, and April.
We'll try. But Mariam did it the whole year. Her hair was African all through. Please, let's celebrate Mariam.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I expect it to be my biggest.
I have to ask you.
Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on to other segments. So on this sponsor segment, we have with us two ladies from the Save the Children organization. Welcome to the show. I have Mariam and I have Edith Gumoth. Welcome to the show, ladies. We have Mariam Ahmed, the Youth Ambassador, Save the Children International, and Advocacy Campaigns and Policy Manager, Save the Children International, Edith Gumoth. Welcome, ladies, to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Now, looking at the recently launched report of the state of the Nigerian child, what would you say are the major priority issues on this matter? Let me start with Mariam.
Yes, so there are so many issues that girls are facing today, and they're all intertwined. You know, they're all together. One issue leads to another issue. But the main issues that girls are facing at this time is access to education. There's very little access to education or no access to education at all. There's the issue of insecurity. There's the issue of harmful practices like child marriage and FGM. You know, these are the main issues that girls are facing. On the issue of access to education and child marriage, 43% of girls get married before they're even 18 years old. So that's almost half of the population of girls in Nigeria. And, you know, according to a Save the Children report, the Save the Children 2020 Girlhood Report, it predicts that, you know, in the next 5 years, 600,000 more girls in Africa will be at risk of child marriage. So the main issues, like I said, are child marriage, but they're also intertwined with other issues that I mentioned.
Right.
What does this mean now then for the Nigerian child, the Nigerian girl, when she's faced with insecurity, child marriage? What does that mean for the future of the Nigerian girl?
Edith, would you like to take that?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Like Mariam has rightly pointed out, girls in Nigeria continue to face a lot of issues, and more silent and very, very destructive, I would say, to their lives entirely is the issue of child marriage, and then also the issue of access to education. And if you like, I would want to point out strictly more on the issues with early child marriage or forced early marriage, as the case may be. Okay. Imagine a girl gets married at the age of 12. Her life stops, and she's unable to attain any form of progress educationally, and she's unable to develop, and then her needs and also her aspirations are now subjugated to that of the man she marries and most probably the family she marries into. So she's not even given the permission to actually attain life like her contemporaries. So you imagine that the girl at that age is unable to go to school, she is unable to get exposed with no education, and then she begins to carry burdens that are meant for an adult at the age of 12, 13. And in some instances, you find out that when they have issues in the course of the marriage, they get even divorced at an early age of 14, 15, and 16. So imagine getting married as a child, and if you're not lucky, and then you have issues like VVF, right, you get divorced even before you attain adulthood. And in the event where you are living in a conflict area, you don't have access to education, you don't have access to basic care, and in most instances, some of them are even susceptible to being, kidnapped or, right, or, like abducted. So the issues are just compounding for girls, especially girls in the northeast and right, the northwest of Nigeria, where we have issues of early child marriage right, more prevalent.
All right, so let me go straight to your just concluded program, the Towards Ending Child Marriage in Nigeria. The program just concluded by Save the Children. The project just concluded by Save the Children. What I want to find out is, what is the impact you believe this would have on child marriage and child education in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. So the Towards Ending Child Marriage it was a 3-year project, and it was implemented in Katsina and Gombe, and also, as well as the national level. So what we have been able to achieve thus far is domesticating the 5-year strategy on ending child marriage that was put into effect by the Minister of Women Affairs. And then we've been able to domesticate that both in Gombe State and Katsina State. And then, interestingly, also during the lifetime of the project, we've been able to also, with support of the the State Children Parliament in Katsina, as well as other key stakeholders like the CSOs and the traditional institution, we've been also able to collaborate with the government, and we had the Child Rights Act domesticated in Katsina State. At the moment, in Gombe State, we are actually waiting for the government's go ahead, and then hopefully very soon we'll have the domestication of the Child Rights Act in Gombe State as well. So you see, having legal backup to strengthen the promotion of children's rights and also supporting promotion needs of children goes a long way to ensure that legal loopholes and lack of enforcement is looked into. Right. So for us at Save the Children, we continue to work with government and all stakeholders, which was what we did in the past 3 years with the project Towards Ending Child Marriage, to see that all stakeholders get to understand what the risk involved right, with issues like early child marriage and also lack of access to education for girls. And then we continue to advocate for these issues and also collaborate to promote the rights of children as in this right, regard.
Yes. Yeah. What impact has Save the Children made for the girls in Nigeria?
Mariam.
Okay, I would want Mariam to make comments on that as a child. She was a child ambassador and now a youth ambassador.
Go ahead, Mariam.
Well, in terms of what Save the Children has done to impact the lives of girls in Nigeria, is the one thing that I always speak about, which is youth involvement. Save the Children involves us, children and young people in whatever decision they're going to make. They have us as part of the round table. They have us, they ask for our opinions and our recommendations and say, oh, what do you think? We're planning to do this and this and this. What do you think? Do you have any recommendations? Do you have any opinions about it? So, and that's something you don't really see a lot of, especially in Africa, especially in Nigeria, where we have this culture of, the adults being the ones to make the decisions for us, and not caring whether or not it's the best for us. But then again, you have to look at the fact that these issues affect us girls. We're the ones that get forced to get married. We're the ones that are pulled out of school. So these affect us. We experience these things firsthand. So you have to include us when you're making these decisions. You have to hear it from us who have experienced these things and, you know, hear what we feel about it, our recommendations, what we want to change. And that's exactly what Save the Children is doing. It involves us in every step of the way.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, Edith, what would you say that Save the Children is trying, what message Save the Children wanting to give to government, CSOs, donors, and what would you expect from policymakers and other stakeholders in Nigeria concerning the situation of our girls?
So for me, I would say the very first thing is to see that government and all relevant stakeholders, most importantly the civil society organization, traditional and religious institutions, ensure the implementation and then the enforcement of all laws that promotes the rights of children. In the event where we were unable to implement these laws, you find out that the violations continue to ensue, and then these children are bound to be deprived of their fundamental rights of being humans. And very importantly is the need to invest in girls' education. Like a lot of very harmful norms and gender, issues we continue to face in Nigeria as a country, especially as it relates to the girl child. So it's very important to see that harmful traditional practice are looked into and also considered a breach of rights. And in the event where that is considered as a violation of human rights, then we can be able to prosecute offenders effectively. And that is why we continue to promote the need for domestication of the Child Rights Act. So for the states that are yet to domesticate the Child Rights Act, this is a call to ask that the government should take into consideration the need to have this, the Child Rights Act domesticated. Like, interestingly, Sokoto State government, just in the past few weeks, have actually domesticated the Child Rights Act into law. And so we continue to call out for more states, and then having all the 36 states in Nigeria domesticate the Child Rights Act is a big win for all children and all of us in the sector promoting the rights of children. And then also, most importantly, is funding for children's rights, because we cannot implement all of these laws and all the beautiful policies we have in place in the event where there's no adequate funding. So the government should really, really consider funding for child rights and also funding for girls' education in annual budgets, and also ensure strategic planning to ensure that this funding actually is used for the purpose for which it is actually budgeted for.
Thank you very much, Edith Gamut, for sharing your thoughts on us on this issue of Save the Children. Girl child rights is something very important. It will be great for every state within the nation to ratify this law so that every child across the country can be protected. Thank you again, Mariam, for joining us. And we just hope that the work you do for Save the Children will continue to show and more children will be saved. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Let's go on a break now. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So in celebration of the African-themed Christmas, the ladies of Your View will be giving out gifts to our fans. And I think yesterday it was launched. If you record a few weeks back when Davido came up with this idea of getting people to put money together, well, the ladies of Your View also participated, and we gave an account number, and people gave in lots of money. We got a whopping 880,000 naira. Woo! Whoop, whoop, whoop. So that 880,000 naira, we're going to be distributing it to our viewers. So what we've done so far, we've given out 100,000 to 2 people, 50,000 each to 2 of our fans who were members of the audience. Remember? Yes. So we used to have an audience for those of you that were new on the show before the fire. We used to have audience on the show, but we've kept in touch with our members of the audience. So we're able to pick about 2 of them to thank them for their support, because they've been consistent, constantly calling us, checking up on us. And it was a surprise. So you'll be seeing the clip sometime during the coming weeks. But the remaining money, we want to give it to our viewers. So we're having this 12 days of Christmas that was launched yesterday. So every day henceforth, from today, we'll be giving out 50,000 from this money that was collected by our fans. Together, we'll be giving out 50,000 to 12 of our amazing fans. And yesterday we asked people to send out messages to us on why they think they deserve this 50,000 naira, and tag TVC Connect. So we got over 200 messages. Wow. The messages are still coming in. We've been able to pick about 12 because we can't, we can't do it forever. Wish we had more money, but we wanted to give people something tangible for the Christmas. So we've gotten 12 names already, but today the first winner will be given. Drum rolls, please. Woo! So of all the messages we've gotten, I think we're able to randomly pick. Let me see the name of the person. His name is Love Day Ugo. Please clap for Love Day Ugo. You're our first winner. Let me read his message. So he said, the cash. This is so on his handle. It says, the cash will really go a long way for my family. I will give 30K to my beautiful wife to invest in our soft drink business. She will buy different varieties of soft drinks to sell, especially this festive period, and demand is always more than supply. I promised her that I will invest in her business, but I haven't been able to fulfill that promise. She has been singing it as a chorus to my ear. The remaining 20,000 naira, she will buy food stuff at home for the family, and God bless TVC. So we're so happy to give Love Day this morning, and we're able to get his phone number. I think we're going to call him now. Love Day, are you there?
Okay.
Okay, I'm told we don't have, but so what we did was that we called each of them, and we have their phone numbers. I would have loved to hear Love Day, because I wanted to transfer the money to him right away. Yeah. So I can hear him on the call saying, yeah. But I'm told we don't have his phone number, but we'll get his account number, Love Day Ugo. We'll call him, and maybe we'll do it tomorrow and send him the 50,000 naira gift. So as I said, it's our own little gifts. Yeah. Ladies, want to say anything? Let me want to say one or 2 things. Yes, YK.
No, I just want to say congratulations on Your View's way of giving back.
Yes.
Thank you, and saying thank you to all our viewers who have kept us at #1.
Yeah. They have kept us at #1.
Yeah. They've been #1 for years.
Yes.
But it's always good. And also thanks to every one of you that contributed. It was like a joke that you guys should show love, and many of you did. Some of you sent very little, some of you sent a whole lot. It really doesn't matter. The thought of you taking out the time to send into the account number is what is important. And that's why we're also extending the time to also share in this season with every fan that contributed.
Yes. I'm just thankful that of the 12 people who have been picked, that in one way or the other, it would help relieve something. We know how Nigeria is, and we hope that in our own little way, this will help relieve some of the Nigerian tension. Thank you so much for constantly supporting us.
All right, so have an African-themed Christmas! Yay! See you tomorrow. Bye.